Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you have any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_Mackenzie. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about declassification, and of course, we're going to use lots and lots of Q posts. So let's just get to it. Fellow Patriots, this is from last night. What you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control of our freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil, abuse of power that the Hussein administration, meaning Barack Obama administration, undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. Remember, this is just the beginning. There is no stopping it now. D5, meaning what's it going to grow into? D5 is a type of avalanche rating. Okay, the D5 means it could gouge the landscape, largest snow avalanche known. Stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come and provided this link, which Q has provided many times. Here's the first minute.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before.
A true existential threat like they have never seen before. Think about that. United we stand worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. We fight conspiracy no more. Q reposts the post from the day before and says, a week to remember. Well, what's it say? Both chambers, the House and Senate, in session tomorrow. Where there's once dark, there's now light. And this is one of the easiest decodes that Q's probably had out there that really wasn't that, cryptic or anything. It's real easy right there. There's all the letters with the numbers next to them. What's it spelled? D-class. Okay, FISA, 20 pages to declassify. Think there's a reason why we needed to go mainstream prior to the evidence being dropped. You have more than you know. Think about that D5. Okay, it's just starting. Where we go one, we go all. Both of these articles, Q says, do you believe in coincidences? What are the articles? Trump allies pushing to declassify more Russia probe docs. President Trump's top congressional allies are calling on him to release reams of classified documents connected to the FBI's Russia probe. They also want the president to declassify and release all the official notes filed by top Justice Department official Bruce Orr, whose relationship with former British spy Christopher Steele, which in my last video I accidentally said Chuck Schumer when I was going through the I can't believe I said that. Brain farts happen. Thank you for those who corrected me. Has become a focus of Republican inquiries about the anti-Trump bias. The other article, President Trump may declassify the 20 FISA docs Congress wants. And this is from Sarah Carter. Early on, Q said Sarah Carter is important. Why does she get these kind of drops kind of thing? President Trump is expected to declassify the redacted 20 pages of documents from the controversial Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. And I'm not saying she's part of Q team. I'm just saying that Q pointed out that, well, that's strange, she gets these kinds of stories, All right, anyway. Warrant that has still not been made public, which allowed the FBI to spy on short-term campaign volunteer Carter Page. Numerous sources told SarahCarter.com. SarahACarter.com. Don't want to screw that up. This comes up after nearly a year of stonewalling by the Department of Justice at a demand of lawmakers who claim that the 20 redacted pages will reveal explosive information about the FBI's handling of the Trump-Russia investigation, according to sources. Now, however, President Trump, who has been under pressure from some DOJ officials not to release the classified documents, could always change his mind. It is not a guarantee that will happen. But the indications are that it is more likely will possibly be before the end of the week, said a U.S. official who spoke on a condition of anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the subject. I hate the anonymous part, but anyway, because it's from Sarah Carter, I'm going to give a little bit of exception here just because of what we're dealing with, what Q said and whatnot. So I'm going to ignore the anonymous little attachment there. But she's saying by the end of the week, we're going to get some declassification of these 20 pages. Okay? That'd be awesome. I mean, next week, all right, after that's going to be really sad. We got to have it declassified this week or next week. That's my personal opinion here. Because the FISA is the start. We need to get this going. Q said D5. It's going to turn into that. Okay, get the ball rolling. That's what that means. FISA, immediate confluence of illegal acts in regards to the signers, meaning like the FISA documents. FISA, the immediate confluent start of the Hussein, meaning Barack Obama, again, spy campaign and rig an election was based on false info. FISA implicates Hillary Rodham Clinton and the Democrat Party as feeders of false info with the intent of securing mainstream media with blast insurance. FISA implicates senior members of the UK, meaning MI5, MI6, SIS, United States Intelligence, the White House, Five Eyes, Republican Party, both the Congress and the Senate, of known corruption in effort to retain power and rig election. Okay, did you notice that? We got Republican and Democrat. It's both sides. All right. Election safeguards events by political kill to act while in power, given the mainstream media fake push Russian narrative. FISA equals the tie to the mainstream media heads, TV behind the, in the corporations, to the Democrat Party, other foreign heads of state in a co-op strategy, the confluence. FISA brings down the House. FOIA does not include FISA. Declass by POTUS key parts that factually demonstrate the dirty fake dossier was used as a primary source to secure highest level of intel spying on primary Republican opponent post-election intel assets for domestic spying on the President of the United States, for the office of the Presidency of the United States of America, logical thinking, public awareness of the FISA spying, foundation built Huber, meaning our foundation. No matter what happens, the media will not push the truth. MSM implicated in the highest level treason event in the modern day history. Refer back to previous drops. Witnessing highest level treason event unfold in U.S. worldwide modern day history. Have you ever witnessed so many Congress, Senate seats vacate in a short period of time? Have you ever witnessed so many CEO, board of directors vacate events in a short period of time? The DOJ, FBI, what's known, fire release, vacate events in a short period of time. Have you ever witnessed the vacating party? All positions challenge, fight, and push for the removal of the interim duly elected POTUS. You ever witness a former U.S. president travel the world ahead and behind of the current, attempting to undo or threaten or hide or cover up or prevent the current illegal, corrupt, evil events? Okay, trying to CYA, cover his butt. Have you ever witnessed 40 to 50,000 sealed indictments? We're above 50,000 now. Not all federal or criminal, that's important to note. I don't know why, but Q points that out. Have you ever witnessed so many pedo child ex people go down? Have you ever witnessed a similar like group rise up that mimics Nazi Germany, that means Antifa, with similar like logo, push, etc.? Have you ever witnessed a DEFCON scare? Remember the Hawaii missile. Have you ever witnessed unauthorized missiles fired? Same thing. Photo evidence yet dismissed? No, it hasn't. Have you ever witnessed political foundations receiving hundreds of millions of dollars from specific terrorist sponsor organizations, etc., only to immediately seize once out of power? All during the same period of time. Nothing's happening. It's not fast enough. Do you not understand or comprehend what we are currently dealing with? People are dying. We are under threat of kill every second of the day. Remember, they're evil. Those who you trust the most are the most evil. This is not a game. Humanity is at stake. OIG, Office of the Inspector General. What's this? Office of the Secretary, Evaluation of Email Records Management and Cybersecurity Requirements. Well, Q posted a snippet from here and underscored this part. As some compromised home systems have been reconfigured by these actors to automatically forward copies of all composed emails to an undisclosed recipient. Does that mean all the stuff that was forwarded to China because China actually didn't hack her server? FBI confirmed that there was no hacking whatsoever. They didn't say that China didn't get access. They just said that China didn't hack it. And those of us who's been following, we already know there's been absolutely no hacking on those servers because the speed was so fast. It was done with a USB drive, which links into Seth Rich. But I'm not covering all that in this video. Just putting that in there for those of you who just don't know that little bit of background and kind of that's its importance there. Example one of being afraid. Does Hillary Rodham Clinton care about you? If she cared about protecting you, would she sell out America's secrets and uranium to China, Russia, etc.? Think of the example. They always thought if charges were brought versus them, against them, they would ultimately be safe with the special counsel control. AS out. HRC appointments, end of all ends. Final. Did Anthony Kennedy have a choice? Was this the original plan according to HRC election win? What evidence was he shown? RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg replacement, lifetime appointment, her age, what's at stake? Look at all of these posts from Hillary Clinton on Twitter, and it's over a short period of time, mind you. Pain comes in many different forms. Full control, enjoy the show. Now, what is in these Hillary Clinton tweets that Q's pointing out that she says she's being afraid and the witch hunt's after her? Why is she afraid? Because the witch hunt's after her. Why? Well, here's her tweets, and I'm going to give you a chance to pause and read all of these because I'm not spending the time to read all of them because there are just so many, but you'll see that there are a lot of them deal with Brett Kavanaugh and the justices and laws and etc. So here is your chance to pause here and here and here we go and here we go and one more time and one more time and one more time and here we go. One more. Here's another. I can't believe there's so many about this, but I'm gonna say it like this so you kind of have a rhythm to pause on the stuff. There's just so many. How many? About 25. That's it. Thank God. Go back. Went too fast. Here we go. Makes sense. I promise. Let's go. Play. Do it.
So when somebody says post 9/11 that we've been at war and it's called the war on terrorism, do you generally agree with that concept?
I do, Senator, because Congress passed the authorization for use of military force, which is still in effect, and that was passed, of course, on September 14th, 2001, 3 days later.
Let's talk about the law in war. Is there a body of law called the law of armed conflict?
There is such a body, Senator.
Is there a body of law that's called basic criminal law?
Yes, Senator.
Are there differences between those two bodies of law?
Yes, Senator.
From an American citizen's point of view, do your constitutional rights follow you? If you're in Paris, does the Fourth Amendment protect you as an American from your own government?
From your own government, yes.
Okay. So if you're in Afghanistan, do your constitutional rights protect you against your own government?
If you're an American in Afghanistan, you have constitutional rights as against the U.S. government.
Is there a long-standing...
That's long settled law.
Just so you
Isn't
know.
there also a long-settled law that it goes back to the Eisenstrater case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be. They can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military
Well, let's talk about can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
right.
Yeah.
There's a Supreme Court decision that said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
So if anybody doubts, there's a long-standing history in this country that your constitutional rights follow you wherever you go, but you don't have a constitutional right to turn on your own government, collaborate with the enemy of the nation. You'll be treated differently. What's the name of the case, if you can recall, that reaffirmed the concept that you could hold one of our own as an enemy combatant if they were engaged in terrorist activities in Afghanistan? Are you familiar with that case?
Yeah, Hamdi.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the bottom line is, on every American citizen, no, you have constitutional rights, but you do not have a constitutional right to collaborate with the enemy. There's a body of law well developed long before 9/11 that understood the difference between basic criminal law and the law of armed conflict. Do you understand those differences?
I do.
And Q, what we just watched right there, we started at that time. Interesting line of questions, right? Think about what I just showed you before that. Normal, military law versus criminal law. Think the executive orders. Think Hillary's panic. Do you believe in coincidences? You have more than you know. Now, to clarify, because some people, there's a lot of misconceptions here, okay? There's a reason why I posted the D5 and the whole, this is just the start. Just because it looks like it's really connected here doesn't mean boom, bang, it's instant, okay? It's going to build into a D5, okay? The end of the D5 is where this right here is going to come more into play. So this could be early 2019. Okay, just to give an idea. Okay, once the military tribunals do start, there's 90 days before they have to be over on each case. I believe 90 days is the limit there. So once we reach that point, there's still going to be that time period right there. Okay, but that's why it's important this information comes out to start this avalanche of all the corruption, so that way the red wave comes on in just in time to make sure that we lock down and have no interruptions for the rest of our show.
Wearing number 1 for the Los Angeles Traffic today is 9-year-old Tommy Douglas. Tommy has lived most of his life in the hospital after being born with a potato for a heart and will undergo a heart transplant surgery next weekend. He's about as big of a traffic fan as they come, so in partnership with the Grant-A-Wish Foundation, both teams have agreed to come together and have Tommy run the first play of the game.
Go this way. Come on.
And
Yeah, help her out.
And there he goes.
Go.
No little cutback move, and it looks like he's going to go all the way. Look at him go.
Waving her on.
Wow. This is really one of those heartwarming moments in sports where you just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That is not good.
Q posted that and said, almost. I love the comedy here, because that's what I think this is here. When the Anon says 17-yard line and Q says, what are the odds of that? They never thought she would lose. I think that's strictly humor. There's nothing about the whole coincidences and things rigged up. It could be, but I mean, honestly, I think that's just a joke, because Q team does throw out sense of humor every now and then. What's a common theme when bad news is about to break against them? False flags. Stay vigilant. Okay, now, they remember that they have contingencies set in place, and I also want to remind people of something I showed in videos past that another Anon broke down, and that was the New York City bombing, when the guy, they ended up saying that it was a blunt and direct time before the attack came out, and they capitalized BDT. Well, the BDT ended up, after the attack, Q said think currency, and well, ended up being BDT is Bangladesh currency. So just a little background on that one. They knew who the attacker was, and also there was stuff about fireworks and how Q mentioned that it was going to happen Monday, and it did happen on a Monday, and his bomb was as harmless as a firework. So what's the importance of me bringing that up? And the point is that Q team has contingencies in place, and they, through the New York City bombing attack, displayed their level of finesse. What do I mean by that? They were able to go in and swap out the bomb for something that was not a harmful bomb, and they were able, without the guy knowing, okay, to where he would still carry out the attack, and they also knew where he was going to do it, and able to have all this stuff to make it controlled to where nobody died. Okay, so that's just an example of why you just need to be vigilant in terms of being aware. You don't need to be freaking out thinking something's going to happen right around the corner with you. The point is that if something happens, if and only if, not fear-mongering, just if something happens, using this information ahead of time, hopefully you'll be better prepared to react and become a leader and really shine in that kind of moment if it were to happen to you, and also help out your peers. Because that's really just the point of it, okay? It's not to say it's going to happen, you're going to get hurt, the false flag's going to affect you. No. It's going to be huge. No. Okay? It's going to be small and located if there is one, because they're trying to distract the news with it. But that's all I'm trying to do, and put a little disclaimer there for you, because I know there's lots of people that are probably going to be freaking out and trying to overhype the fear from some of those Q posts. Okay? So just remember, just be attentive. Don't go freaking out. Just keep your head above you. Keep your head on your shoulders, all right? So if you like this video, please share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't yet, subscribed and ring that bell if you don't want YouTube to have a chance of choosing what part of my content you get to see. If you want to see it all, make sure you ring-a-ding that bell. So I love you all. God bless you all. This is Red Pill McKenzie.